If you've ever waited to speak in a meeting because you were listening, thinking, and trying to be thoughtful, only to watch someone else say a half-formed version of your idea and get the credit, I have been there. And if that's happened to you, here's what I want you to hear. You're not being misunderstood because you can't communicate. You're being misunderstood and overlooked because fast-paced workplaces often don't know how to read thoughtful communication. I'm Stacey Chazin, founder of the I Factor, and I help quiet professionals unlock their influence, impact, and income by leaning into the strengths they already have. If you're a thoughtful communicator who's tired of your best ideas landing late or not landing at all, this one is for you. Here's the real issue. Most workplace communication systems are optimized for people who think out loud, while introverts, like you and me, tend to think before we speak. So in fast-moving conversations, our strengths, like deep listening, careful word choice, complete thoughts, can get misread as hesitation or disengagement. And the cost of that is real. Your ideas get less airtime, your impact becomes less visible, and over time, that can bleed into how you're evaluated and whether you're seen as leadership material. So let's fix what I call a translation problem. Here are 3 moves that make your thinking easy to track. Move number 1, prepare your headline ahead of time. Before you walk into a meeting or hit send on an email, decide your 1-sentence headline. A lot of misunderstandings happen because thoughtful communicators start with context. We do it to be accurate, we're trying to be helpful, but in a frenetic conversation, people need your key point first. Then they can follow your reasoning. So ask yourself, if they remember only one thing I said, what should it be? Then say it early in the conversation, ideally in the first 10 to 20 seconds. Examples you could use. My recommendation is option B. Or I see 2 risks we should address before we commit. Or something like, the decision we need today is X, and here's what I'm seeing. Move number 2, choose your moment for delivering your line. When you say something is often more important than how much you say. If you wait until the end of a meeting or a conversation, when the group is already leaning toward a particular decision, your idea can sound like an afterthought. So you want to aim for one of these 3 moments. At the start of the meeting, which is best for influencing the outcome. At a particular decision point, when someone is summarizing next steps. Or right after a question is posed. And this is when your answer naturally has the floor. Move number 3, follow up on your ideas strategically. If writing is one of your strengths, as it is for many introverts, use it to reinforce your verbal contribution. Keep it short, just enough to make your value easy to see. That's the key. Here's your structure. Your headline in 1 line, your rationale in 1 line, and the next step you're recommending in 1 line. Here's an example. Recap from today. I recommend option B because it reduces risk in Q2. If we agree, the next step is to validate it with some person by Friday. That 1 note prevents your idea from getting lost, and it makes you look clear, reliable, and leadership-minded without talking more in the meeting itself. Want a way to test this out and put it to work immediately? Here's your Introvert Power Practice for this week. In your next meeting, use the headline first method, exactly like this. First, before the meeting, write your 1-sentence headline. Then plan your moment, whether it's going to be at the start, at a particular decision point, or another time. And then after the meeting, send a 3-line follow-up. Then jot down, did my idea land faster? Did anyone respond differently once my point was clear up front? And do I feel less behind the conversation or overlooked? One last thing, if you are often overthinking how to enter a conversation, which is a problem that many introverts, myself included, face, especially when a conversation is moving fast, having some ready-to-use language is a game changer. To help you with that, I created a free guide called Say It So They Listen, 10 phrases that help introverts speak with strength and show up as leaders. It's full of easy practical phrases you can pull up during your next meeting or call. If you try this power practice, tell me in the comments what you said and what changed, and you can request that free guide by clicking on the link in the show notes below. Until next week, power on.